Thank you so very much for being here. If you just joined us or you're still with us, it's still Enterprise Friday reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's go to our main conversation for this morning. Tensions escalated in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, as police barricaded the road to the People's Democratic Party (PDP) Secretariat following reports that the acting executive committee planned to take over the complex. This development came after a Rivers State High Court nullified the PDP's Congress conducted in 2024, leading to a deepening crisis within the party. Both factions held separate press briefings asserting their authority. Aaron Chukwuemeka from the restrained executive criticized the frequent court cases involving the party and appealed to Governor Siminalayi Fubara for peace. Meanwhile, state legal advisor Kingsley Chukwu SAN indicated plans to appeal the court's ruling once available. Chukwuemeka and Chukwu accused the acting executive members of being affiliated with the All People's Party, questioning their legitimacy. Acting Chairman Robinson Naeme Ewo announced the suspension of the planned takeover to avoid escalation, outlining demands for resolving the crisis, including reinstating leadership under Fubara and recognizing the acting executive. Despite the suspension, unresolved grievances suggest that the crisis within the Rivers PDP is ongoing. The situation, however, further intensified when Robinson Ewo, chairman of Rivers West Senatorial District, declared himself the acting chairman of the state chapter. I see have with me joining virtually John Akerele. Thank you so very much for hanging on. We truly do appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me. Good morning once again.
Thank you. All right, so let's speak to this particular matter. It's no longer news, obviously, that the PDP is slowly but surely disintegrating in Rivers State, unfortunately. The feud between the godfather and the godson, of course, led to all of this issue. And as we stand today, the grassroots are with the All Actions People's Party APP. So do you think that the issue we have with the PDP is something that is not new? It's something we would have expected even before now, knowing that the grassroots is with the APP and Fubara is just merely hanging there, hoping to get the next opportunity to sweep or swipe to the APP?
Okay, I think if you look at this issue, there are two people who are gladiators in this case, and that is Minister Wike and Governor Sim. And if you look at this case, let me take you back to the PDP convention of last year, 2023 election. You know, Wike contested for presidency, and along the line, at the dying minute, Tambuwa, stepped down for Atiku, and that's how Atiku clinched the ticket.
Yes.
And Wike vowed that he's going to work against Atiku. And he made sure that he did that Atiku never clinched that ticket, to presidency. Now, it shows to you that that is a man that never forgives, a man that never forgets. And so it's a dirty fight, and it's a fight to finish. And so what you are seeing is also a replica of that same fight between Wike and Fubara, and is to who controls the soul of the party. Don't forget that this race is a race of 2027. And so every politicians now are plotting their graphs. Wike now, knowing that if he's being displaced from the party structure in Rivers, then he will have no way to see how he can, make influences at the nationals against the so-called Atiku, because from all indications, Atiku might still claim the ticket of PDP 2027. And so Wike, knowing fully well that he needs a platform to achieve his own desire of not making Atiku get presidency, needs PDP. And so he will not, for any reason, leave that party structure at Rivers State, because also that is also a place where his political relevance is tied to. If Wike is displaced at the political structure in Rivers State, it means that his political weight amounts to nothing.
But he has been displaced,
that,
isn't it? But it's obvious he has been displaced because every local government in Rivers State, about 22 of them, are with the APP. So there's no gainsaying that Wike is no longer relevant with the political structure in Rivers State as we speak today.
The thing is, that is why they are fighting for the soul of the party at the state level. Don't forget that the party operates from the national level to the state level to the local government level to the ward level, just like our own system of governance as well. And so for him, he still wants to take the control of the states, PDP Rivers States, and that's what he's fighting for. And now, if Wike wants to take the leadership of PDP Rivers State, and don't forget that any political office holder is automatically the leader of the party of any state. And so, for instance, if you have a governor, Sim Fubara, who is the governor of Rivers State, automatically is the leader of that party. And in this case, Sim cannot be the leader of that party, having working with the leaders or the state executives who are loyal to Wike. That cannot happen. Don't also forget that also is still the same case of the 27 lawmakers who decamp from PDP to APC, the Amewule factions, and now they are saying they are PDP members. So they are also taking a cue from their godfather, who is Wike. They are neither there nor there. And these are people who have declared publicly on a national TV station that they are decamping from PDP to APC. How come they are saying they are PDP members? That's the same case of Wike and his followers. So for me, what I think these people should do also is that our judicial system should give us, there are times that there's so much madness happening in our political space. At that point in time, we need to go to the last hope of a common man, and that is where the bench and the bar can come in handy. But it's so appalling and disturbing to me as a Nigerian now that it is still the same court that we think can help us give clarity and direction and focus where there are chaos. But now, even the bench and bar is even making more cases to be more chaotic by giving conflicting orders. I don't know. I think we have said this time that number that we should not have conflicting orders. I don't understand who the lawyers are, who the judges are. And I think this is a call to, a lordship, Justice Secretariat. This should not happen under your leadership as the CGL of Nigeria. And these are some of the, abnormalities that we think should be clean in our judicial system. So for me, if you look at the other factions, they have a court judgment. These other factions, that the ones supposed allegedly the former factions, also have a court judgment. And so you ask yourself, which of the court orders should we obey? Because this court order is also conflicting with another court order, and both of them have gotten this judgment from the same court. So the thing is, how come we have conflicting orders coming from the same court? And these are the issues that will need to give us clarity. And because this now has made the situation more chaotic, and everybody is claiming that they are the right, executive members or leaders of the PDP Rivers State. And then those also loyal to Governor Sim Fubara are also claiming that they are the rightful executive owners of the party. And so in this case, what happens is the people that want to contest, that want to use PDP Rivers State as a forum, will be confused as to who to get forms from and who to submit the forms to. Who is the authentic leadership? Who are the authentic leadership of Rivers State PDP, so that they can look at having electioneering. Don't forget that electioneering is also coming up very soon. And so these are some of the things that we see. But the foundation of it is, if Wike and Sim have their issues settled today, I can tell you the issue of party leadership will just fizzle out like a smoke of a cigarette.
But of course, we know that Wike and Fubara becoming a tag team is not coming anytime soon, because what goes around comes around. John, you will agree with me. No emperor lives forever. What you see today happening to the PDP, where Wike is on one side of the PDP, is on one side of the APC, is equally being replicated by Sim Fubara, who is equally on the PDP and equally with the APP. So tell us, with the police barricading the Secretariat of the PDP, do you think PDP would live to see this, will still live to desire to, flex that muscle any longer? What do you think is their strength level as at today?
Well, my brother, I'm not a seer. I'm not also a prophet. But the thing that we can, decode from this scenario is that this fight will continue. But at the end of the day, we need the principalities of law to interpret what the constitution of the party says. And that is why I think our political leaders are, have no shame. In times like this, that is why the constitution of the party is sacrosanct, and the constitution of party is binding on every member. And so some part of the constitution that is not clear, this is where lawyers need to explain to them. I think all of them have their lawyers. And this is a time where they can sit down with themselves and say the truth to themselves. This is what the constitution of our party says. And if you have done, you have contravened the law of the constitution, then you should face the consequences. Now, in the same way you are accusing Wike and his faction of wanting to have the leadership of the party, the same way they are also accusing other factions of also being a member of APP, which is like an anti-party. Yes. And so what does the constitution of PDP says about anti-party, if that is true? These are some of the things that we must do. But don't also forget, you have put Governor Sim Fubara in a tight box by taking the structure of the party for him. And so you are saying he's the leader of the party and does not control the structure, which means you have just made him a toothless lion. And so for him as another,
but do you think Sim Fubara cares? Do you think he truly cares about the PDP as we speak today? Because he's not saying anything in that regard.
Sim Fubara is actually a tactical person. He's more tactical than Wike himself. Wow. And Sim Fubara is not a talkative. He doesn't speak too much. He just go silent and does his thing. And so for me, I think he must have had his plan A, plan B, and plan C, looking at the power of the governor. And so if you look at all the powers that be, even the enemies of Wike are now friends of Sim. Now Sim is getting that popularity all across board, all across party. It will amaze you that members of other political parties who were opposition before against Wike are now with Sim. And so Sim is just trying to, want to be neutral. Even when PDP at the national cannot even put themselves out, put their house in order, how much more the state level? And so that shows to you categorically now that PDP is gradually becoming a shadow of itself. And I think at this point in time, it's a wake-up call to every meaningful Nigerians who are members of the PDP. The founding fathers of PDP, who came together to form that party, should not just look and see this party disintegrating to this level. So for me, I'm not a fan of PDP as a political party or a platform. But however, when things are going south as Nigerians and concerned Nigerians for that matter, we should speak up and say, the elders should wade into this situation, see how the national issues can be resolved, and also see how the state issue can be resolved. Because 2027 is just by the corner. And if this is not resolved before 2027, I don't see how PDP will bring up a viable opposition in that regard. And I think that's also a good plus for other political parties, the likes of Peter Obi, the likes of Kwankwaso, and other people who might want to jump into the 2027 race to see how they can gather support, because one person's loss is another person's gain, and that's how politics is in Nigeria. So for me, I think what we should also look at again is, why are we into politics? It's just for the betterment of people. So the question now is, how in all of this fight have the people of Rivers benefited? Just recently, they have told you that the LMA, road, the LMA bridge has not been constructed. For how many months now? No work is going on in that regard. And so I'm thinking that as a responsive Nigerian, what he should do as a leader is to see how those, infrastructures can be put in place, how to make the lives of people in the LMA area of Rivers State better. And these are things that I think they should be doing rather than wasting energy on frivolities and things that doesn't matter. But, as Nigerians and our political leaders, we like to spend our energy and resources on things that does not matter. And it has been a cultural problem for us as a people. But I think going forward, we can, sit down, ask ourselves critical questions, make a U-turn, and make resolutions, just like we all make New Year resolutions. So I hope it's a new year, and they can make resolutions to make sure that the lives of Rivers people and Nigerians as a whole becomes better day by day through their policies and all that they are doing in office. Because there is no governor forever. Wike was a governor before, and now he's an ex-governor. And so Sim also, either he do is 4 years or 8 years, one day he will also be an ex-governor. But what will people say about you while you are governor of Rivers State? And that's what I think is more important. And it's called legacy. What will they say about you when you are gone? And I think that's the message I want to send to both of them.
Yes, very true. My last question to you. You talked about Wike's friends now becoming Fubara's friend. And one amongst them is Asari, whom, of course, has been given the grateful and the graceful portfolio of the king in his kingdom. So he is now a king officially. And the staff of office was handed over to him from Fubara, which makes him technically a loyalist of Fubara. But I'd love you to speak on this particular matter. You talked about tactics and how that Fubara is a very tactical person. One other great politician who is equally very tactful is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's one person I love to believe, who is more concerned about his interest than the friends that are close to him. Do you think, or do you see, with the permutation happening in Rivers State, knowing that Rivers State contributed to what made President Bola Ahmed Tinubu the current president of Nigeria, do you think it's possible to have a Bola Ahmed Tinubu teaming up with Fubara and possibly neglecting Yelsem Wike just to get the presidency or get vote from Rivers State?
Let me not lie to you. There's something you cannot take away from Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's also, a genius in terms of politicking. But if you now talk about in terms of governance, his genius, his level of being a genius is something that is questionable because of the policies that have been somersaulting here and there. And so, but in terms of politicking, I think he's a genius in that regard. And so I see somebody who understands the power of a governor, who understands the power of incumbency. And because he has been in opposition over the years, from the days of Nadeku. And so he understands how the power of incumbency can be to play when it comes to election in Nigeria. And so Bola Ahmed Tinubu is somebody who I know would have a way to reach out to Sim Fubara. And that's why you see that after stepping into the case, after the whole case, he just kept quiet and, take a back seat and was looking at both of them. Now, will Wike be a minister in the next administration if Bola Ahmed Tinubu wins the election? That is something that we don't know. But the thing now is that is why Wike is fighting tooth and nail that he get the structure of the party, because that is what he will use as his political value to the president. To say, President, I will deliver the Rivers State to you again. But that is something that he cannot say with his full mouth now, because he does not have those parameters in control of in his hands. And that's why Mr. President also understands that fact, that you delivered Rivers State because you are a governor of Rivers State. Now you're no longer the governor of Rivers State. Can you deliver Rivers State? That is having a question mark on its head. And so Mr. President also understands that Fubara is a sitting governor and no one has a minister and all of the powers at the state. If Mr. Governor says that Wike should not come to Rivers, he cannot come to Rivers.
Very well.
If Sim says they cannot welcome President cannot go to Rivers because he's the landlord of Rivers as it stands. And so these are some of the things that Mr. President understands, and I'm sure that at the due course, he will have to play his game. Don't also forget that Mr. President visited Enugu. Enugu, happens to be one of the southeastern states of the country. And now the governor, Mba of Enugu, is not an APC governor. The governor of Abia State is not an APC governor. Is a Labour Party governor.
But he attended the flagging off of what happened in Enugu.
Do you understand? So that shows to you a president who does not look at the party, who makes sure that his appointment, cut across other political parties. Now look at his appointment also in the case of Ojukwu.
Bianca.
The minister. Bianca Ojukwu, she also from the southeast. So it's just a way of throwing jab to the southeast, that even though you think I don't like you, but I'm appointing your key people. Even though you think I don't like you, I'm visiting your region physically to see things for myself. I'm talking to your governors, I'm talking to your senators, I'm talking to other members. I'm visiting southeast as a sitting president. That is to show you that look at my action, don't look at my policy. And so that's what the president is doing in terms of politicking. Also, if you go to the aspect of his media aide, his spokesperson, you see somebody like Daniel Bwala, who used to be, a fan of Atiku in PDP. Yeah. Now is the one speaking for Mr. President. This is somebody that has castigated the president over and over again. But now he is speaking the praise of the president. So Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu understands how to use the same arrow that is fired at him against his own opponents. That same arrow is what we take and then use against. So in terms of politicking, I know that he's got his cards intact, his house are in order, and he's going to do that magic again. But the thing again is, will Nigerians be willing to vote him into power come 2027, looking at before and after? And I think those are the things that people will be bringing out at the election hearing time come 2027. Before and after. How much is a bag of rice before you came into power? How much is a bag of rice now that you're in power? How much is a liter of petrol before you came into power? How much is a liter of petrol now that you're in power? How much is transportation cost before that you're in power? How much is it now? How much is minimum wage or salary? How much is it now? What is the buying capacity of our people, before and now? How much do you buy a Toyota Corolla car before? How much are you buying Toyota Corolla now to Kumbo, even Nigeria used? And so these are the indexes that people will campaign on. And the question that the APC people will be, difficult to answer or defend is that when you say your policies are working, show us empirical evidence of how it affected the lives of people on the road, how it affected the price of commodities at the market. And if you cannot provide all of these statistics, it means that the policies are just on paper for yourselves and for yourselves alone. Also, what they should do, that I think they should do in my own regard, is that we should see that we have a government that is disciplined in terms of finances. Let's see that from the president himself, he will cut down his own costs. Let the president start. All right? And once the president starts, I'm sure that the vice president will take a cue. The Senate president and every other person who is standing on his mandate, because they have a song, on your mandate we shall stand. And if the president is cutting down his cost, I believe everybody standing on that mandate will also cut down their cost. Don't forget that people that are standing on that mandate are over 150 senators, over 120 House of Rep members, over 16 governors are standing on that mandate. So imagine if Mr. President cut down his own personal costs. It means that those who are standing on that mandate will also cut their costs. It means that we have saved a lot of money that we can use in doing things to better the lives of an average Nigerians. And I think that time will come when Nigeria will be great again. But will it be now? I don't think so.
Very, very true. We can't oversee some of these things. Unfortunately, what we go through in Nigeria is equally what is obtainable in Kenya. William Ruto, one man the Kenyan people loved. They felt that he would do the magic. They saw him like a miracle worker that would come and turn around the fortunes of Kenya. Unfortunately, what we see today in President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is what Kenyans see with William Ruto, unfortunately. But let's see how it goes on the next ballot, days, to see if really it will metamorphose to better people that would come serve the nation for the good of Nigerians and possibly Kenyans, but most importantly for Africans. Thank you so very much, John Akerele. We truly do appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
God bless you.
All right. Yeah, thank you. So that's just about the time we have today. I truly do appreciate you. Wherever it is you've watched around the world, we say thank you. We would never take you for granted, but we would equally appeal that you visit us. You can always find and reach us at enterprisetvnews.com. Equally, you may like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Igwebike. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.